good morning everyone. Welcome to Sunrise Yoga. My name is Chelsea and I'm a guest teacher today. So make sure that you have some comfortable clothes and a mat and a pillow for meditation. And if you'd like a glass of water, get some now. Otherwise, find a comfortable seated position. I just want to show you my water bottle. So get nice and comfortable, cross-legged or in lotus position, whatever you'd like. And take a minute to just begin to settle into your seat. Feel where your body is connected to the ground and begin to lengthen the spine. Gently bringing a little bit of space in between each vertebrae, extending the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Allow your shoulder blades to melt down your spine, let them get soft. And when you're ready, gently close your eyes. Begin to connect to your breath. Without really changing or manipulating the breath, just begin to notice the natural rise and fall of the belly. And soft undulation of the rib cage. Notice the gentle rise and fall of the chest. Breathing through your nose, begin to feel the air on your nostrils as it moves in and out. And start to notice the temperature of the air. Notice if it's warmer or cooler on the inhalation or the exhalation. Begin to notice how far beyond the inhalation you can experience the breath. Perhaps you sense it somewhere at the back of your throat, maybe somewhere beyond that. Notice the pause in between each breath. Find this little moment of stillness. And again, as you exhale, follow the breath all the way to the end. Maybe you can feel it on your upper lip, and perhaps you can sense it somewhere beyond that. If thoughts come into your mind, gently return your attention to the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Nice, slow, steady breath. If it helps you to stay focused, you can imagine the waves of an ocean moving in and out as you breathe. Keep the body relaxed, the shoulders soft. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Now gently begin to deepen the breath. When you're ready, open your eyes. Bring your awareness back into the surroundings, back into your room. And gently remove the bolster or the pillow that you're sitting on. Unless you have a tight lower back, then you can still stay seated on the bolster. And again, find a nice comfortable seat, cross-legged position if you'd like. Sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, allow your right ear to fall towards your right shoulder. Softly, just until you can feel the left side lengthen. As you exhale, gently drop your chin towards your chest. Mindfully, notice how this feels through the back of your neck. And inhale, gently bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. And with the exhale, switch directions, roll your chin towards your chest. Complete exhale. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, switch, and allow yourself to begin to move at a pace that's comfortable for you. Exhaling as you drop your chin to your chest. Inhaling, ear to shoulder. Soft, relaxed shoulder blades, slow, steady breath. And just begin to notice how your neck's feeling today as we begin to move through these warm-ups. And gently bring your head back to center. Now extend your legs out in front of you, nice and straight, with about hips width in between or 2 fists in between your feet, if you can imagine that. Extend your toes up towards the ceiling. Continue to sit up nice and tall, lifting the crown of your head up towards the sky. Your hands can be on your lap or on the floor, wherever is comfortable for you. And begin to lengthen the spine. Imagine that you can feel the space in between each vertebrae increasing. As you inhale, you sit up taller. And as you exhale, gently begin to hinge forwards from the hips, reaching towards your toes. If you can reach your feet, feel free to take hold of them, or you can place your hands on the ground or underneath your ankles. Again, inhale, reach forwards with your heart, keeping your back nice and straight. Then as you exhale, begin to round, softening through the spine. I'll turn sideways so you can see. So moving from a flat back, softening forwards, letting your forehead drop. Continue to relax your shoulders. And notice how this stretch through the back body feels. Inhale, come back up to seated. Now from this position, extend your hands out in front of you. With your fingers spread nice and wide. Tuck your thumbs into the palms of your hands. Wrap your fingers around your thumbs. Again, sit up nice and tall, drop your shoulders. As you inhale, reach your toes and your knuckles up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, begin to make small circles with your ankles and your wrists. Exhaling as you go down on the right and across the bottom. And inhaling as you go up on the left and across the top. Again, exhaling as you go down and inhaling as you go up. Making nice, big, slow, steady circles and cueing each movement with the pace of your own breath. And try as much as you can to keep your arms and your legs still and really initiate the movement from the joints. Exhaling as you go down, inhaling as you go up. So we're getting the joints lubricated in preparation for any of the postures. And now when you're ready, switch directions. So exhaling, going down on the left and across the bottom. Inhaling, going up on the right and across the top. Nice, slow, deep breaths. This can be a little bit confusing if it's the first time you've done it, and that's okay. It's a really good exercise for improving your focus and your concentration. Exhaling down, inhaling up. And one more nice, slow, big circle to the left. Now let that go, give everything a shake. I'm going to take off my socks now. And gently come forwards onto your hands and your knees into a tabletop position. Placing your knees directly underneath your hips or about 2 fists in between them, like this. Spread your fingers nice and wide, place them underneath your shoulders. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, begin to spill your hips and your pelvis forwards. Sink your belly down towards the ground. Reach forwards with your heart and gently lift your chin. Exhale, switch. Rocking your hips and your pelvis back, rounding through the spine. Bring space between your shoulder blades and tuck your chin. Inhale, switch. And once again, find your own pace. Begin to move with your own breath. Inhaling as you arch, exhaling as you round your back. And as you move through these cat and cow warm-ups, begin to notice how your spine's feeling as we wake it up this morning. Keep your attention on your breath. And gently return back to a neutral flat spine position and come down onto your forearms, making a triangle with your forearms. Interlace your fingers and notice where your elbows are connected to the ground, and make the space in between your elbows the same distance as the space between one of your elbows and your fist. So it's an even 3-sided triangle. Keep your knees about hips width apart, or if you'd like, you can bring them a little bit closer for this. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, begin to spill onto the side of one of your legs, dropping your hips towards the ground, getting a nice twist through the spine, dropping the hip all the way to the ground if you have that much motion. And in order to stay more balanced, you can press the opposite elbow down into the ground more. So really focus on rooting down through your elbows. Inhale, bring your hips back to center. Exhale, switch sides, dropping your right hip down. Complete exhalation. Inhale, come back to center. And begin to move back and forth at a pace that's comfortable for you, cueing the movement with your own breath. One more time to each side, finishing with an even number of hip drops to both sides. And allow your hips to come onto your heels. And just come into child's pose for a moment. A nice, relaxing, grounding posture. Feel free to reach your arms out in front of you with your palms facing down, or you can bring them beside you with your palms facing up. Do whatever's more comfortable for your shoulders. If your hips feel a little bit tight here, you can bring some space in between your knees. And again, connect to your breath. And slowly begin to walk back upright. Come back into tabletop. Tuck your toes underneath and begin to lift your knees, lift your hips, and find your downward facing dog. And begin to walk on the spot, reaching one heel at a time towards the ground. isolating the stretch through the back of one of your legs at a time. Allow your hips to get soft and move from side to side if you'd like. And gently begin to walk your feet towards your hands. A couple inches at a time, taking your time with each step, taking advantage of the opportunity to lengthen through the back of that leg. And eventually finding yourself in forward fold. Take a deep breath in, exhale, let your knees soften and begin to make a sandwich with your torso and your thighs. Your arms can dangle down on the floor, or if you'd like, you can take hold of opposite elbow with opposite hand. Let your head and your neck become soft. Nod your head yes or no a couple of times to release it. If you want, you can sort of sway from side to side, whatever feels good for you. And slowly, one vertebrae at a time, begin to roll up to standing, letting your shoulders, your neck, and your head come up last. Good. And we're going to move into sun salutations. So come to the top of your mat. And inhale, raise both of your hands up towards the sky. Lift your chin, find a gentle back bend. Exhale, begin to hinge forward from your hips, keeping your back straight until you come about halfway down. So I'm going to show you what not to do. Don't come down with your head first. Keep your posture nice and straight. So you're at least halfway. Then if you'd like, bend your knees, allow yourself to come all the way forwards and relax. Spread your fingers wide, place them on the ground, and step back with your right foot. Finding yourself in low lunge. Bringing the left knee to about 90 degrees, or so that the knee is stacked directly over top of the ankle. If it's coming forwards, just bring it back a little bit, and if you're back here, just take a couple of steps forwards. Bring your heart forwards, drop your hips, drop your shoulders, and again, connect to your breath. And bring your left foot back into plank, one straight line from your feet to your head. On an exhale, drop your knees onto the mat, and keeping your hips slightly lifted, drop your chest and your chin. Again, there's another gentle back bend, 8-point bow. And slide forwards onto your belly, flatten your feet, and lift up into either Sphinx pose with your forearms connected to the ground, or if you'd like a deeper back bend, Cobra. Whichever back bend you choose, begin to reach your heart forward, drop your shoulders, and keep your elbows close to your body. Press down into the mat with the tops of your feet and your legs. If you want a little bit less work for the hips, you can bring your legs apart. Otherwise, they can be pretty much together. Exhale, slowly lower back down onto the ground. Tuck your toes underneath, lift back through and up into downward dog. And once again, take a minute here to just walk on the spot, stretching your feet out, stretching out the back of your legs. And pick up your right foot, bring it forwards, and step back into lunge. Again, creating that 90-degree angle with the right knee, stacking the knee over top of the ankle, not bringing it too far forwards, not leaving it back here. Reach back with your left heel, reach forwards with your heart, drop your hips, connect to your breath. And bring your left foot forwards into forward fold. Again, soften the knees, drop your head. Feel free to take hold of your elbows if you'd like. If you want a much deeper back bend, you can take your hands and slide them underneath the back of your heels with your fingers facing forwards. From here, pull up with your hands and drop your torso. Drop the crown of your head. And gently release your hands and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll back up to standing. Letting your shoulders, neck, and head come up last. Inhale, Reach up with your hands, lift your gaze, find that gentle back bend. Exhale, dive forwards, forward fold. Again, spread your fingers wide, place them on the ground. This time, step back with your left foot. Coming into lunge with the right knee at a 90-degree angle. Take a deep breath in, and with an exhale, step back with both feet coming into plank, one straight line from your feet to your head. Exhale, drop your knees onto the mat. Now, keeping your hips slightly lifted, drop your chest and your chin and slide forwards onto your belly. Keeping your feet connected to the ground, pressing down into the mat, lift up into either cobra or sphinx pose. Whichever back bend you choose, again, drop your shoulders, reach your heart forwards. Exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes. Lift up all the way through to downward facing dog. And walk on the spot again, stretching one heel at a time towards the ground. We've done a couple of downward dogs now. Begin to notice if anything feels different from the first one we did this morning. Notice if anything has shifted. Now pick up your left foot, bring it forwards, and find your low lunge position with the left knee at 90 degrees. The knee stacked over top of the ankle. Reach back with your right heel, forwards with your heart, and drop your hips. Bring your right foot forwards, forward fold. Again, take whatever position you'd like with the arms. You can have them connected to the elbows, resting down, or underneath your heels, pulling down. Gently release your hands and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll back up to standing. Inhale, lift your hands, and take a complete exhale. Now come back to the top of the mat. And from mountain pose, inhale, pick up your right foot. Exhale, step it back. Your back foot is at about a 45-degree angle here. And rather than having your feet on one straight line, imagine that there's two lines and there's a little bit of space in between them so that your hips aren't turning completely to the side. We're at about a 45-degree angle. Bend the front knee to 90 degrees. And begin to notice how this feels through your legs, through your hips. And if this is enough work, stay here. If this feels good, stay here. If it's a little bit too much, you can bring a little bit more space in between your feet. And if you're not feeling enough of a stretch, if you're not feeling like it's enough work, bring a little bit more space in between. Get a little bit lower and a little bit deeper. Again, try to maintain that 90-degree angle, keeping your knee over top of the ankle. And raise your arms. Exhale, drop your shoulders. And connect to your breath. Nice, slow, steady breath. And gently open your arms to shoulder height. Bring your feet now into one straight line. So bringing the front foot over a little bit and rotate the back foot out a little bit more so that it's at sort of forming a T. You can draw a line from the front heel to the arch of the back foot. And once again, notice how this feels through your hips and your legs. And notice if you need to make an adjustment with the width. Soften your shoulders, turn your gaze over the front fingers. Warrior two. And bring the front knee straight. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, reach forwards with your left hand. And you'll notice that there's a hinge happening in the hips here. They're sort of rotating as we come into triangle pose or trikonasana. Drop your left hand down, placing it just in front of your calf. Or if you'd like, you can use a block. This would be a good opportunity to place a block under if you want a little bit of extra support. Reach your right hand up towards the sky and rotate your heart open to the sky, turning your gaze up. Keep your shoulders soft and away from your ears. If you feel any strain on your neck, keep your gaze down. Otherwise, really focus on lengthening the arms open, radiating the heart. Inhale, come back up to standing. Turn your feet or your toes to face the same direction. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, bend forward from the hips. Place your hands on the ground and allow your spine to soften forwards. If you'd like, you can keep your hands on the ground. And if you want a little bit more work for the shoulders, you can bring your hands onto your lower back, interlace your fingers, extend your arms up and overhead. Connect to your breath. And gently release your arms, your hands back to the ground. Lift up and bring your feet back together. Heels and toes if you'd like. Then come back to the top of the mat. Inhale, raise your left knee. Exhale, swing it back. And once again, the back toes are at about a 45-degree angle for warrior one. Bend the front knee to 90 degrees. And again, notice how this feels on this side. It might be different than the first side. Notice how this feels through your legs and your hips. Raise your arms, drop your shoulders, connect to your breath. Gently open your arms, reaching them out at shoulder height. Step your feet into one straight line so that the front heel makes an invisible line intersecting with the arch of the back foot. Bend your front knee to 90 degrees, warrior two. Soften your shoulders, soften your gaze. Connect to your breath. And then gently straighten the front knee, inhale. And as you exhale, reach forwards with the right hand. Bring your right hand down in front of the right ankle. Lift your left hand up towards the sky. Turn your gaze upwards, open your heart. If there's any strain on your neck, feel free to look down. Inhale, come back up to center. And again, bring your toes to face the front. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge forwards from the waist. Come all the way down. And allow your spine to round and soften. Again, if you'd like, you can bring your hands up onto your lower back. Interlace your fingers and lift them up to open through the shoulders and the heart. And gently allow your hands to reconnect to your back. Release your hands. Place your hands on the ground for support to lift yourself back up. And your way back into standing. Thank you for joining me for Sunrise Yoga this morning. Namaste. Stop.